independent hoe, I'm all about my businesses. I consistently continue to bring energy and known to keep it poppin' like I'm full of electricity. Try to hold me out, I wish you would have the audacity. Take a rap laxative, now I'm shitting on the industry. Self-made, not a title, cause it's my identity. And wear it on my skin like it's a part of my ethnicity. Mary keep on blowing like instruments in the symphony. That keep a player buzzing like Twitter when you mention me. Being 100 to everyday living tendency. And ain't faced by hating, it makes me increase my intensity.
YouTube world, what is good? What's good with y'all out here, man? And women, children, you ain't supposed to be up at this time. I know school done started. Y'all know what it is, the one-man force thousand flavor of DFW Sports. Super fan from the DFW land. Y'all know how we rocking. Every time I step up on here, it's something to do with Dallas Fort Worth sports. So y'all know, chime in, get your roll on real quick. Let me see if I can liven up the mood a little bit. Let's see what we got. Let's go to the media assets real quick. Yeah. Let's get a little live. Mix it up a little bit. It's all gravy, y'all. Hump day. Bring y'all a little bit of, little bit of vibes going up in here, man. What's the deal, y'all? What is really the deal? My bad. What's really good, man? I got some things to get up off my chest on this live. You know what I'm saying? I always try to, just give my take on what's going on in DFW sports. Y'all know I got some cowboy talk that he always gonna talk about. It's that time of season, especially around these parts, because, after what we gonna talk about the Cowboys, I'll tell you why it's basically time to get locked in for that pigskin to fly around the football gridiron. Yeah, so we got Cowboy headline news. Listen to what Brian Schottenheimer said early in his press conference today. Go over some more news about that. I still will be going live. I wanted to go stock up, stock down on Cowboys talk, but I had that game Monday and then trying to upload that vlog basically from another walk-off that he basically got to see 2 walk-offs in a week. But I wasn't able to give my stock up, stock down, but I'm going to kind of save that just because it was the first game of the preseason, so we'll do that. But we're going to listen to what Brian Schottenheimer said. We probably go through a little bit of what's been going down in training camp for the Cowboys, following some of the Dallas Cowboys beat writers from the Dallas Morning News. So we'll talk about that. Talk about the Rangers collapse as well, bro. Rangers just right now, with 40 games left, it looks very bleak. Very bleak. They got to get something going in a hurry. I'll talk about their last series that they just had with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it was crushing being down here at home. Y'all already know I got game 1 on the vlog, so y'all check that out. The NBA Cup schedule has came out for the Dallas Mavericks. Interesting dates that you'll end up seeing, the Mavericks playing on some of these games. So, and also as well, you got the Dallas Wings. They finally get a dub to scratch. But I mean, they've been, in and out, but they ended up getting a dub against a good Indiana team, even though it was no Caitlin Clark. They ended up getting that dub. And as well, little Dallas Stars news as the Dallas Stars add, my bad. But as the Dallas Stars add depth to the forward position, talk a little bit about that going in there. So, man, y'all chime in, man. Let me know what's good. Ooh, Dallas Cowboys, man. A lot of things been going on. Jerry done talked about he done had cancer and all that stuff. Now he cancer free. I'm like, bro, how do you Like, tell me, bruh, how in the world do you always talk in the media, bringing stuff up, but you keep cancer on the low for a whole decade? How? You would rather run a media circus than to actually be about your health? What? We knew Jerry had money, but is the attention for him more than the money? Come on, Sonny. Can't be doing that, Jerry. Can't be doing that. We do got Brian Schottenheimer's press conference. If y'all haven't checked in with Cowboys.com, Dallas Cowboys on their YouTube channel. I've been in and out, you know what I'm saying, going in and out of the Cowboys content just because I'm still in baseball season right now. And I'm distraught, but I'm trying to catch up right along with y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I want to check what Brian Schottenheimer said basically in his presser coming. He done had a few of them, but I'm just taking from the latest one today. I saw the one Monday, didn't see the one Tuesday, but let's check what he got going on right here. Roll that clip for us one time.
I was just close to his family like you are. How much does that help you fight cancer?
Oh, it does. I mean, you lean on those people. I mean, you definitely lean on those people. And the communication, because like when you're going through those things, again, mine was nothing like as serious. Thyroid cancer is the slowest growing cancer in the world. I was actually more concerned about when I had to have the surgery that I could lose my ability to speak. And I was a coach, because they're around your vocal cords, and Sam Weiss actually had something like that happened to him a while back. But man, without your inner circle of people and your family and your loved ones, it kind of reminds you of what truly matters.
So you see, basically, Brian Schottenheimer done broke down that, man, at an early age, before his 30s, he ended up having a issue with cancer as well that he had, a battle with that he had to overcome. So maybe him relating to Jerry Jones that's probably was the connecting point right there, when a lot of us scratched our head, was like, Brian Schottenheimer, like, what made you really want to say no to everybody else and no to other names and go with Brian Schottenheimer? Maybe this could have been a reason they vibed right there, that, Jerry keeping under the wraps that he's been battling the same thing, but now he's cancer free. The Netflix series is getting ready to come out, and I believe this is exactly what, this is going to be all part of it. His overcoming and all of that type stuff is a good feel-good story, because cancer does affect not just one, it does affect all of us. But, with Brian Schottenheimer having to go through the same thing, I didn't know that as well. I didn't know he had to go through that. So it's amazing to see what these people, behind the media scenes and all the flashlight, that they are still human beings, and we all go through some things. So, regardless how you feel about the situation, but people still going to feel that. Carry on, Brian.
Your cancer situation, in the sense of what stage was it in? How you said it wasn't as serious, but how serious was it?
Yeah, it was thyroid cancer. I don't remember exactly the stage it was in. I had to go to the Mayo Clinic. Crazy enough, we had just been in Washington the year before, 2 years before, and did not know this, but Dan Snyder actually had thyroid cancer. So I was not aware of that when I was coaching. And so I get the word, and I go and I find my dad. He's in watching the defensive film with the defensive guys, and I kind of called him out of the room, said, "Coach, can I see it for a second?" I told him that, I said, "Hey, I have cancer," and I broke down, of course, started, and I lost it. And he said, "Hey, we'll figure this out, and we'll get you the best help we can get." And he picked up the phone and called Dan Snyder, a guy that 2 years before had fired him, and said, "Hey, let's go a different direction." It wasn't going to work. But he said, I'll never forget, he told me, when Dan picked up the phone and my dad said to him, "Hey, Dan, I've got a problem. Brian has cancer." Dan said, "Marty, give me 5 minutes and I'll call you back." And I think it was within 24 to 36 hours, I was on the operating table in Rochester, Minnesota. And
remember it like it's yesterday.
Again, it just shows you when you're dealing with things like that, everything competitively stops. Like, okay, hey, Marty and Dan disagreed and want to go a different direction. But the minute he picked up the phone, he said, "Hey, give me 5 minutes. And he called his contact at the Mayo Clinic. And next thing you know, I'm on the operating table. My wife was pregnant with our first child. She was about 4 months pregnant with our son Sutton. And so it was a very traumatic thing for me.
It was just a timeline of when you found out you had cancer to when you were operated on until it was all gone.
Yeah.
Clarence Hill.
But basically found out early August. Came off the practice field, had a phone call from the doctor saying, "Hey, Brian, give me a call." I knew there was a lump in my throat, and so I knew there was something that was bothering me, but I didn't think it was anything. The doctor, when they did the fine needle aspiration, they didn't think it was anything. And so I remember coming in from practice and picking up the phone, and I knew it wasn't a good thing. So I called him, and he said, "Hey, you have cancer." He said, "Hey,
what is
good?
Cancer
is the slowest growing type of cancer that there is." He said, "We can wait till the bye week or even after the season." I was like, "No, let's remove it." And so went into surgery about 48 hours or 72 hours later.
Dallas Mavericks
they removed my thyroid, and I think there were 17 lymph nodes. The thing that's so crazy about, you guys can see on my throat potentially, but there's a scar. But the thing about thyroid,
I'll rap about it. I just got to hear what Schottenheimer had to say
and they make
today.
you take a radioactive iodine.
I see they keep asking about
you
the
drink
cancer
a radioactive
situation.
iodine drink. And the beauty of what I was fortunate enough to do, and I say this humbly, was the doctor that did the surgery said, he goes, "I'm not going to do that to you unless I think I miss." And he goes, "I never miss." And so I think that's why, again, very blessed to be in the position I was, National Football League. And again, quite honestly, we are blessed to have some of the best connections to things like that. But I'm honored and humbled to say that
if it make it sound good,
don't for the National Football League. Maybe my story was a little bit different.
Good as fuck. But this is real life situation.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's been a while, and I still have my voice, which is good.
I'm sure some other people think otherwise.
Yes, they do.
A year ago this time, we all
he had throat cancer. He had throat cancer back in the Gap.
We haven't heard anything yet on guys doing it. Have you not done anything, or what's the?
No, we're I'm not a get a guy up there and have him sing. I'm more of a, hey, let's see a production. Let's see an orchestrated rookie show. So we're going to do our rookie show tonight. We're going to have a hell of a practice today. Clean some stuff up. I remember
when Hard Knocks was
when
I
think
they got invented and you saw that type of stuff.
The rookies are going to put on a little
hazing is
performance.
real.
I know they've been working hard on it. We'll find out what hidden talents they have. I'm sure that I, along with some of the veterans, will be getting roasted unmercifully, but that's all part of it. If you can't laugh at yourself and have good fun, then I think you're taking yourself too seriously. But yeah, I'm more that way. I think if they sing, great, but if they whatever they come up with, it's their deal. So Brian Wansley and Tyler Boyle, my chief of staff, they've been helping those guys put it together, and it's been kind of fun for them. I've not seen any of it,
bring that bullshit to AT&T Stadium again for another time this year, like y'all did last year,
things like that. So I'll let you know how it goes.
You have a favorite skit or whatever?
Man, can y'all get to some football questions, man?
Well, I mean, Rex had a thing in
hell, man. Can y'all get to some football questions?
Hard Knocks, so it doesn't matter. But he did a thing called King Ugly, and he basically would present a guy with a crown.
I've been trying to keep up. I heard
guy on the football team. I don't remember who it was.
I got to catch up on today.
I remember going, that's brutal. And then it made it worse. It was Hard Knocks, right? So it lives on forever. You're like, whoever it was, I can't remember. I was like, it's so bad. But that was always interesting. And it was a different guy every year, which is kind of fun.
John Michaud with The Athletic. We saw Brandon Aubrey get some work yesterday. Just what have you thought of what he's been able to do out here?
Football question is about
if he's
Brandon
ready for
Aubrey.
the regular season.
Well, when I talked to Brandon, I think, he feels ready. I know he's really loved being outdoors, kicking with the wind. The wind's been kind of a fun challenge for him.
I do have some about on Michael Parsons that Calvin Watkins
he's been maximizing those opportunities.
Dallas Morning News. So.
But I think he's in a really good spot. It's interesting for me.
I got to catch up.
Really spent much time when I'm in those meetings when Nick and Carlos are going through the specialist stuff, specifically with Brandon and Banger, hearing the technical side of what goes into kicking a football. I mean, I just kind of took it for granted. Like, okay, yeah, you kick the ball and this and that, but the technical footwork and, the plant step and the follow through and all those different things, like literally I'm in amazement in some regards. Like there's so much technical stuff that goes into it. And, I think he's in a really good spot right now, very confident, but being outside.
That's probably
and
your
on the
best
grass has been great
Cowboy
for him.
is Brandon Aubrey.
Get ready to leave tomorrow.
There's like not a, well, he's
News
damn
that
sure your most productive one.
about your first training camp.
I'd say a lot of things. I think, number one, I love the environment out here. We actually had a chance. We had a bunch of our families today. So
They ain't even
when I
asking
first
no
went to San
questions
Diego,
today.
one of the first people
What
I
happened?
met
Did
was
y'all ask the
our
wrong
team
question and
chaplain,
got
Pastor
checked?
Sean Mitchell. And he just was the most up. Not long, less than a year, 6-8 months before I got the diagnosis. And I really leaned on my faith. It was
Tommy R, StylesCowboys.com. We've seen you get fired up when you see plays that you like on the practice field. How fired up do you get when you see George Pickens kind of climb the ladder? Something we haven't really seen him do.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that. George Pickens got on.
I love practice, so it doesn't matter whether it's George running up and high pointing that ball yesterday or Malik Hooker on the interception. And there's a great play by Malik. I mean, I just love seeing our guys as a unit flash. And I kind of talked to the guys in the team meeting today about, when you have a competitive practice, there should be back and forth. There should be the offense makes a big play and then the defense responds and then the defense makes a turnover and then the offense scores a touchdown. Like that's how you know your practices are competitive, because there's the back and forth, there's the good, the bad. And we talked a little bit today about sudden change and capturing and seizing that momentum. We're going to be a team that takes the football away. That's our goal. We're trying to get 3 takeaways every game, and the goal on offense to give away 0. So
you can't stop the run, you ain't taking away nothing.
Way that we want to treat sudden change in terms of the process.
Can't stop the run, you ain't taking away nothing.
Reset and focus that we talked about with the guys that you'll see us drill out there today.
You said that you're expecting to get roasted tonight at the rookie show. Who do you think can get you the best or impersonate you the best?
I don't know. I'm sure there'll be a number of things. I really don't know. I think Justin Barron's got a big part of this, is kind of what I'm hearing. So we'll see. He might be a little bit nervous. We'll see. These guys are probably all going to have to do a shot of something before they go up in front of me and all the guys. But I told them, I said, hey, look, guys, hey, have fun with it. Seriously, have fun with it. Like, you're not going to hurt my feelings or the guys' feelings. We're not going to take it personal. That's part of the connection piece. If you can't laugh at yourself, if you can't laugh at one another, then what are we doing?
It ain't funny when y'all getting blown out by 20-plus points at AT&T Stadium.
That you have the thyroid.
I tell you that much.
Ordeal. And if this is your first time, why did you kind of feel it was important to share it?
I don't think I've ever kept it from anybody. I don't think maybe I've ever been asked. I think it was just, Jerry, and how powerful his story is. And again, I'm not disease that can be deadly, and I try to keep them interesting. But we look for different things. We look for things that we try to speak about in terms of current events that are going on, philosophical things that affect us, football-specific game management stuff.
Yeah, they've been.
We always compete, find different competitions, whether it's golf, ping pong, basketball, whatever it is. Today we showed a video, breaking news of the AP top 25, coming out. So Demo was all fired up. He and Micah and Miles about, Texas and
it is
Penn
college
State
football.
I do think that Florida got
about a couple weekends.
Cheated a little bit. I think it should be higher than 15. But people were quick to point out Mississippi State wasn't on there. So yeah, Dak didn't really like that. But I think to answer your question, I just I'm going to get my points across, but I also don't want it to be like, all right, how much longer shot are you going to go for? I want to keep it fun. I want to keep
and
it
I
upbeat.
bet you that's what was
we watched practice clips.
I bet you that's what was going on with Mike McCarthy. He got up there talking about smashing watermelons and mojo moment, whatever, all that bullshit, and be like, man, here this fool go again.
Change from the other day against the Rams, where Joe had the interception, the defense got the ball back, and then we missed the explosive and just talked about momentum and things like that. So I'm going to give a lot of credit to Tyler Boyles, my chief of staff. He's incredible. Ryan Feeder's a great sounding board, and there's some of the guys in the video department that find some of the stuff off the wall too to show.
Michelle. Michelle Montaigne every day. John asked you what stood out to you most about your first training game as the head coach. Is that when you practice and whatnot? Is that your favorite part, or do you have a favorite part of being out here?
I think the favorite part that I have is this with you guys every day. No, just kidding. Man, the meetings, I really do. I'm a pretty simple guy. I've got
He
my
loves
family, I've
grind.
got my faith, and
Like
then
I
I've got
say,
football. I just
Shotty
love it.
make
I
it
could do football
sound good, though.
24/7.
He really
But
do.
to sit in the meetings and hear the coaches just hammer on guys
And
the
now that
different
you heard
points
about
and the
him
coaches,
overcoming,
I get
you
excited
rooting
to
for him.
hear our coaches teach
I don't know
because I
about
think they do an awesome
Cowboys
job of teaching. And then I'm real big. I say it.
about
They
Jerry.
used to make fun of me. It'll probably show up in the rookie show. I say write this down a lot because I do think that the mother of all learning is to write things down. So the guys always have to have their notebooks out. But I'm just a football junkie. And you could,
as we all
be
are,
in
and
the
it's
weight
about
room,
that
could be in the
time.
locker room, could be on the practice field.
But
If
y'all
I'm
gotta
doing
come with
football,
it.
I'm pretty happy.
Please don't.
Which part? No, pre-snap penalties are not my favorite part.
Man, and why did we have so
actually we
many?
had
I
on,
love
Malik's
awesome
interception
riches,
yesterday.
but damn,
There
my
was,
guy.
we have the officials out here. Alan Eck and his team are out here. Be out there with us again today. And on Malik's great interception, there was a penalty called for lining up in the neutral zone, offsides. So I showed that to the group today and, again, pointed out, like, here's a huge momentum swing, but because we didn't take the time to check our alignment, we were offsides, that play comes
Not
back.
discipline.
So, the discipline piece, we've been hammering pretty hard.
Not discipline.
It's something that the team has struggled with for a couple seasons or several. What goes into that? What goes into these things?
I mean, it's pretty simple. It's discipline, and I've been a part of it, but I'm not going to say that, ultimately I was in charge of all of that. I think, you have to teach these guys. I'm not a guy that shies away from anything. I love hard conversations. I like bringing guys in.
You like
I
making it
I don't mind
uncomfortable,
calling
huh?
guys out. They know I love them. They know I care about them.
I
If
hope
I
you
call
do.
a guy out,
I
it's
hope
not
you do.
because I don't care about them. It's that, hey, if this hurts our ability to win, that's the goal. The goal is to win, and not just win, it's to win a Super Bowl. And so, I have zero problem.
We done
pointing
got
those
to the
things
point.
out,
Just
but I
get to
think
the NFC.
what
Win a
happens is if you
divisional
don't
playoff
point them
game for
out,
crying out loud.
then you're almost making it seem to them like, oh, these are okay. They're not okay. And we obviously didn't do a great job of it last year. We didn't do a great job of it, in this past game. And so a couple things I'm looking for in this upcoming game against Baltimore is I'd love us to start faster one. I'd like us to play with more discipline, in terms of the pre-snap penalties. And I'd love to see us tackle better on defense.
Agreed. All three. Agreed.
Kind of a two-part question. First being
Patrick No C. Walker.
Obviously, the huge positive is guys get to be back around their families, their loved ones. But as a head coach, you also have the challenge of potential outside distractions. What's your message to the team as they transition back to Dallas?
Well, number one, we want them to reconnect with their families. I want them all taking their kids to school on Friday. Friday will be an off day. Take your kids to school,
just
man,
started,
and
so yeah.
Be around your family, reconnect. What's going on? I mean, I've got a daughter checking into, moving into college that I've barely talked to. So, I obviously can't get to her, but, I hope she can give me 10 or 15 minutes just to touch base on how everything's going with sorority rush and all that stuff. But, when you play this game and it takes you away from a lot of things and sacrifices, which we should make and we openly make because we want to and we want to be great, when you get those opportunities to pause and celebrate and be around your family, I want them to do that. So we'll do that on Friday. Because obviously there's a transition. We have to get everything set back up. We'll meet back up Saturday morning, get ready for the game. And we're going to stay in kind of a training camp mode for a little while. We're not going to an in-season schedule right away.
Basically
Why?
like you
I
don't
think
went on the road.
we're still in the process of evaluation. We're still in the process of growing as a football team. We're still going to have night meetings. We're still going to do things. We've got a few of the night practices coming up as well. But training camp can continue in Frisco for a couple of days.
I'll be there the 19th at the Star, baby. Making it the third year in a row. We gonna hit up the open practice.
Over these past 3 weeks or so?
It's funny you asked that because I think I was literally thinking about it earlier today. Yesterday, we've struggled to stay on our feet with padded practices. I thought yesterday was our best day of practicing in pads and not having guys on the ground.
Okay.
And so that was one of the things that just stood out to me, Patrick, when you asked the question, because I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, as I watch the film, I usually watch the film with the staffs, and then I'll watch it again either at night or in the morning. And I was kind of like, maybe we're figuring this thing out because we're going to be in pads some, and we're going to practice in pads during the season. And you have to do that and still be able to stay on the ground. So that's one thing that just popped out when you asked the question. I was like, that was something I think,
was
hey, maybe
clean.
we're getting it. It gets you
Okay.
excited as a coach.
Can you practice hard
to
to
ask you about the
preserve
positives.
yourself?
Are there any concerns or
Probably last question right
things
here.
that you don't think you got to coming out of camp, like the performance camp? I don't know, cornerback, defensive tackle, anything that you're concerned with about this team?
Everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think, at the end of the day, it's not concerns. It's figuring out these position battles. There's a ton of position battles where we're going to have to make some really tough decisions, and we're going to have to go back, and you'll see us do some one-on-ones today.
You got a lot of tight ends that I think they
one-on-ones
like
are a cool tool
on
for
this
us to look
roster,
at.
and
Okay,
that's
hey, can
what
this
they're trying to
guy
figure
cover
out.
this guy one-on-one? Can this guy rush the passer and beat this guy one-on-one? But I wouldn't say there's things I'm concerned about. I would say that there's some big, hard, tough decisions coming up that we want to make sure we're making the right decision. Myself, Jerry, Steven, Will McClay, his staff, the coaches.
Basically, I know what y'all thinking. Are y'all going to get rid of Mozzie Smith? Are you getting rid of him? I don't know about that, but Calvin Watkins, Cowboys beat writer for the Dallas Morning News, he's talking about what he learned on the Wednesday summer session of the training camp. He talked to Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is saying he think overall the tempo with the camp. I think overall about the tempo with the camp. Basically, he liked how Brian Schottenheimer had everything on schedule. Give Brian Schottenheimer his due there to have that. And I'm looking forward to Saturday night, second preseason game back home. But I've liked what I've seen so far. And on what did he say? And on violence, I don't even want to mention it, but we've come out in pretty good shape with our injuries. See, you done said something, Jerry, saying something about injuries, and all of a sudden, man, everybody hurt. Hey, it's good to go that way because you didn't have nobody out there. So you trying to make it already seem like, look, it was our decision to make sure we didn't have no guys out there so they didn't get hurt. And you see how, that worked out good for us, and our so-called depth is actually working. No, it's not. Jones made a note that second-year offensive lineman Nate Thomas has looked good since taking over for injured Tyler Guyton at left tackle, in the pick six from rush in Sam Williams of Dak Prescott was a fitting in several ways. They said your boy Dak throwing a lot of interceptions in the game, man, in these training camps. What's the deal, fo? What's the deal, fo? What is the deal, fo? Jerry Jones saying, I've been real pleased with Thomas. He's gotten some real opportunity here, and we certainly feel that showing up on his part. I like several of the young guys. Williams, who tore his ACL last year. Jones said, I like the physicality, the enthusiasm, probably the last play we just saw. Williams taking that thing to the house and outrunning everybody probably is a great way to end practice and certainly of his camp. Remember, Sam Williams, basically, his season was lost basically in their second to last day in pads. Sam is not fragile in terms of mental, but as Michael Irvin said, when he had an injury that flashed before him in the prospects of not playing again, Michael said made his career to appreciate what he might miss. So he hopes Sam has that same realization. Cowboys went missing 4 cornerbacks during padded practice. So the secondary is basically a concern, but Jones said he's not concerned about being short at the position because there's an expectation injured corner Trayvon Diggs will return at some point in September. So he claiming for a dude who is not, that you find $500,000 for, and that's not always around in the building getting his, treatment from y'all. You're saying basically you're able to diagnose that he's going to be down here. He's going to be able to play in September, by end of September. Okay, Jerry. Jerry saying, this is Jerry. Jerry saying, yes, I think Diggs, hopefully not as it only turns out, might miss the initial game or games, but certainly not for the season, Jones said. Counting on Diggs to really be a player for us. And of course, y'all know this dude said nothing. Basically, him and Michael Parsons is not saying nothing. And if they not saying nothing, and to me, what I see is if Jerry was able to keep cancer under the wraps, they're going to pay Michael. Some going to get worked out. They just finally keeping this out the news. That's what I want to believe. That's what I want to believe. But ain't no telling, man. This stuff could actually be sour. Parsons says his mouth's closed when everybody keep asking about the contract situation. As Jerry spoke to him, Jerry saying nah, and he doesn't expect contract talks to increase with Parsons' agent when the team breaks camp. I don't know if necessary if talks will restart, but we've got a game coming Saturday versus Baltimore, and he's under contract. And Micah's not saying nothing either. I don't think it's really that bad of a relationship. I'm hoping it's not. Cowboys owner didn't have a clear answer why talks haven't restarted with his lead negotiators and Parsons' agent. Again, really nothing, Jones, on what's preventing talks from occurring. Like, you just being this stubborn, like, fuck y'all. It's kind of what I feel. Jones also indicates he's under no deadline to get a deal done. Is that because it's a deal already done or what? And that's how Jerry said, I talked to Michael Parsons and we already had a deal done. And now they want to go back on it. No, we had a deal. It's that being pettiness right now. But like I said, bro, you can't be messing around with, bro. That's going to lead to, those union talks when the CBA come around and you be doing stuff like that. People ain't going to want to hear that. People going to take note. Hopefully the NFLPA take note and be like, nah, bro, do not be talking anything unless the agent is present. Of course, Parsons is holding holding what? Contract hold in? Not hold out, hold in. But Jerry Jones said he's glad that Parsons is at least showing up. As you saw the picture where Jerry Jones was at the top of the thing and Micah sitting right underneath him. Come on, y'all. They both basically not saying nothing. I think it's saying something. It's just, I don't know. He is still under contract. I don't know how Jerry feels about that. There's people that's a lot split on this. There's people that's actually like they don't mind Jerry not paying Michael Parsons, but the problem that they have with it is why are you dragging it out? You act like you don't want to pay Parsons, but you said you went to Parsons about a deal and that y'all already agreed to something. So you do clearly want him here. So what is really the problem? Clarence Watkins, Dallas Cowboys beat writer for the Dallas Morning News, continues as he talked about practices observations. And I'm going to go to his X page, formerly known as Twitter, and check out some of the media and from him and Joseph Hoyt. They both write for the Dallas Morning News and see their videos from the training camp. Go through their media and stuff like that and see what y'all think of what's going on in this camp before they break out and fly down here, basically be on their way back home. Shoot. The last padded practice had a physical tone throughout. Some Schottenheimer said throughout the entire training camp. Several players got knocked down by the defense, including Jonathan Mingo, who threw the ball into the face mask of safety Marquise Bell, so it got chippy. Safety Donovan Wilson had to hold out from crushing receiver CeeDee Lamb after he made a nice sideline catch. Basically, it was a nice sideline catch, but damn, Dak, you in real game time speech, you would have got your boy murdered. So, majority of the defensive plays were yelling that Wilson would have made a hard hit on Lamb if this was a live game. So, like I said, Dak, you're going to get your boy crushed. Players were allowed to hit with a thud, but not bring teammates down to the ground. As you heard Brian Schottenheimer said, it was basically clean. They was able to stay up on their feet. So that's good. Another example of this, Zion Childress, who I like Zion. His stock was rising up for me. Take down a running back, Deuce Vaughn, from behind on a running play. Childress is competing with a spot with Kimon Hall for the nickel spot. Cowboys have been impressed with linebacker Damone Clark. How? as he gets second team reps at middle linebacker along with Kenneth Murray Jr. Vaughn got first team reps again, but as camp is on the cusp of closing, it seems Javonte Williams has the lead as the week 1 starter at running back. This is Calvin Watkins, Dallas Cowboys beat writer for the Dallas Morning News. He's basically chiming out that Javonte Williams has the lead as the number 1 week starter, so you can basically kind of pencil him in. The backup is between Hunter Lupick, Jaden Blue, and Miles Sanders. Again, he's reporting that Javonte Williams most likely will be the number 1 back when we go to Philadelphia September 4th. You talk about the offensive line. Lyle Collins received some work at right tackle with the third team, and Hakeem Adeniji was the left tackle. That's on the third team. TJ Bass continued to get work with the second team at center for a second consecutive day. Edge Peyton Turner, defensive end, practiced Wednesday after leaving. He practiced on Wednesday after leaving with his health issue, his ribs. Brandon Aubrey is study money. That's the last article you got of the Dallas Morning News for that today. So, like you say, man, let me see. Let's go to some media real quick. I'm pretty sure he had a lot. I'm just gonna go over a couple. Y'all, look, see how I go. Okay. Little run play action. Joe Milton got picked off. Come on, Joe Milton. What's up? You can throw a soft touch pass to the defense. That Marquise Bell looked like. It looked like he was playing some type of robber, too. You stared it down the whole time. I love it. Here we go. I think this is where CD Lamb could have got his brain blown out. Wow, right there. Like, come on, Cat. Why you short arming like that, bro? Here we go. CD would have got dropped. I don't even think he would have got dropped. That's actually an interception, bro. Because Donovan Wilson was right on it, bro. He was right on it. So I don't know what it is with that, bro. You see how I got this up? You gotta throw that deep, Dad. Come on now. It's JoJo in here. Joe Milton. Okay. Is that Trayshawn Holden? That's who everybody like to see right there, that boy Trayshawn. Hey, and Brian Schottenheimer like him. That's where a lot of people talking about, well, what are you gonna do with you know what I'm saying? Jalen Tote. BBJJ. JoJo. Gotta do a better job chipping the block right there. Oh, too high. The accuracy is still not there, man. You struggling with just trying to put the accuracy up, my guy. You struggling with the accuracy, man. Come on now. You can't be struggling with the accuracy, bro. But I get it. Let me see. Just trying to make sure these are from today. Yeah, here it go. He made it go faster now. Are you serious, Dak? And that's the one Jerry Jones was talking about when Calvin Watkins was reporting. What the hell? Did he just drop back? Is he saying oh, he dropped back. He stared it down and didn't even know he was there. Come on, Dak. Bro. My brother Bug might be right. That dude can't read defense. You gotta be kidding me, dog. Trayshawn, line for Illinois. Ooh, good move, Trayshawn. Ooh, good catch, Trayshawn. Ooh, show me that again. That was sick. Nah, Trayshawn nice with it, man. Trayshawn is nice with it. Let me see it one more time. Trayshawn is nice with it. That was a dangerous decision, but still a dangerous decision. But damn, Trayshawn nice with it, bro. He real nice with it. And that's somebody that is climbing up everybody's depth chart, man. Gotta find him a spot for sure. For sure. Gotta find him a spot. But like I said, when I looked over the film and we was doing all that, going over the film and stuff like that, what I was really looking at and what I saw, bro, look, defensive line, they got a lot of work. They don't have no depth there. The strength of this team is obviously in the offensive line because that's where they have the depth. That's where they have their depth, and that's something that they got to, just continue to build on. It's just what do they feel comfortable at the left tackle spot? I think the offensive line should not be an issue. So if we're not putting up over 30 points when we get a chance to, it's either you can't run the football and your defense is bad and you're one-dimensional, or foe ain't that good, bro. And y'all know I ride for foe, bro. I really ride for foe, but just had to tell y'all. Man, let me get to the Texas Rangers, man. Well, it's almost about 10 o'clock. I done took a little too much time on the Cowboys, but it's about locked in for football season. I'm telling you. Friday we'll go. I'm going live stream. It's already up there. I'm going to do a live film session of the Baltimore Ravens preseason game number 1. So I'm going to go and look what they got in the trenches and look what they got, their players that they got running, and see what we got going, what we're going to end up going against. Saturday we'll have post-game action with Cowboys and Ravens, go over the condensed game film real quick right after the game, and then hopefully the all 22 come out Sunday, and we'll go. So from Friday to Sunday, I plan to, be locked in on Cowboys content. Now, to bring me to my achy, breaky heart, let me switch the subject since it's still summertime and the piss-po-ass Texas Rangers. Now, I will say in the span of 7 days, if you've been tuning into the channel, in a span of 7 days, I have seen 2 walk-offs. Two comeback fashion walk-offs. You know what I'm saying? Last Monday, it was against the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? And then Monday, it was against the Diamondbacks. And I mean, boy, y'all see the vlog. If you haven't already, go check the vlog up. You know what I'm saying? In the video section, y'all check that in. That was a game that was very sour, bro, because more than anything, Nathan Eovaldi basically one of, if not the best, top 3 pitcher in the MLB right now. He had his most worst night Monday. And I mean, he got tagged. He gave up 3 home runs real quick. 3 home runs in 3 innings, bro. Like, it was bad. He hit a couple batters. He walked batters. It was just a whole rough night. And before you looked up, it was 5-0. And I mean, folks was out that bitch before the 5th inning. I mean, it was crazy, man, because but that's just the tale of the Rangers season. You're trying to stay positive and hope you can galvanize this season and do something. And right when you feel like they got a chance to get a little bit closer, they keep setting themselves all the way back. But that Monday night, man, it went ham. I mean, Wyatt Langford's first at bat, he struck out on 3 straight swings, like just not straight swings, but it was 4 straight pitches, but struck out on 3 pitches that he swung and missed at. And it looked terrible. It looked like it was going to be another long night for Wyatt Langford. Then all of a sudden, around that 7th inning, they put up that 3-run homer between Wyatt, and that got everything started. And here come Rowdy Tellez, end up tying the game, and then Jake Berger blesses the game and walks it off with basically, it would have been probably a clearing bases double. But other than that, walked it off. Rangers won 7-6. Now we get to Tuesday's game. Tuesday's game go back and forth. It's a tight, low pitching game. Jack Leiter was on the mound, and he actually went out there and did his thing. The bullpen actually went out and did his thing. Now, the Rangers ended up putting their runs up early, but then you get to about after the 4th inning. I think it was after the 3rd inning. They ended up doing all their damage. It was one of those Rangers games. They did their damage early in the game, about in the first 3 innings, and after that, the offense went non-existent. Got 1 hit. You got 1 hit from the 3rd inning to the end. Come on, that cannot be working, man. And then y'all had a 2-1 lead? You had a 2-1 lead, and here come Robert Garcia. Boy, when I say boy, for the 4th straight time, I done seen Robert Garcia come in and relief pitching, and he gives up ass and elbows, bro. For the 4th straight time, I done seen him. Now, people were trying to tell me when I was asking the question to Evan Grant on X. Matter of fact, y'all follow me on X at Drewski Self-Made. When I was on X, I asked the question, when the last time Robert Garcia basically gave up the game, is this the last time we see him? And folks was jumping in there talking about, man, y'all give up on people too easy, man. Too easy. Y'all too emotional. Now, Robert Garcia is in here pitching, coming in relief. And to this point, he's actually done pretty nice. Then he, gets a runner on and all that type of stuff. And I think he ended up stealing on him. We couldn't throw him out. But then here comes a ground chopper that goes to him. That it was a play that he wasn't going to make regardless. This fool goes down, picks the ball up, and throws a Magic Johnson. No look. Throw that boy to first base, and it goes over our heads, bro. Base runner advances to second. Bro, it was just ugly. It was just another example of why I said, do you need to see Robert Garcia anymore? Do you need to see him anymore? To me, it's really no point to even be bringing him in here. It really ain't. You would have thought that game was won, and then here come Robert Garcia. It made you hold your breath. Because you knew something could happen. He has that blunder, and I mean on the next batter, you get a ground chopper to third base, and then here comes Josh Young. Josh Young fumbles the ball. He's basically trying to make the throw, but he fumbles the ball, and it comes out of his hand. Everybody's safe, and it ended up getting a tying run in, and then you get in the late innings, and wow, what's his name? Tay Martell. That motherfucker torched your ass in the 9th inning. Basically knocked you out the game. And here we come to today's game that was early. Rangers basically control. They ended up. I think it was Evan Carter. Evan Carter came on early, came on strong, and basically welcome back because Adolis Garcia did get moved to the IL, 10-day IL. So a lot of them, you think some moves are about to be shooken up with the race they're trying to compete in. But then the Rangers, I mean, you got that from Josh Young, and all of a sudden they ended up tying it back up. Who was on the mound today? Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly didn't do too bad. I think he gave you 5 innings? I think he gave you 5 innings. Let me look at it. The game was earlier today, but I was able to listen to a little bit of it. Boy. So they had it tied up. It was Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly went 6 innings. He went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, but only 2 earned runs, walked 1 batter and had 5 Ks. And one of them was a home run. So he really did work. He really did solid work. And then the bullpen actually came in and did solid work. Who hit the home run? Somebody hit the home run. I forgot who it was today. I think it was Jake Berger. Jake Berger ended up hitting the home run. Jake Berger had the 2-run home run. It made the Rangers have a 3-1 lead, and then all of a sudden they chipped away. They didn't chip away. They ended up getting another run in the next inning, so that made it 3-2. But then you go in and you go to the 8th inning, the Rangers were able to put up another run, get an insurance run, made it 4-2 basically going into the 9th inning. And what happens in the 9th inning? You give up a 4-run outing in the top of the 9th. And it basically was credited to Tate Martell. He crushed the Rangers again and probably basically crushed their postseason hopes in 2 games in the 9th inning. He crushed them. Went yard, took the lead. You went up being up 2 in the 9th inning to losing the game by 2. And if this series doesn't tell you anything, what I said about the Texas Rangers, said they were in trouble, but damn, bro, this series is telling because y'all easily could have got swept because y'all had no business winning that game Monday. But y'all came back and y'all did it, especially with your best pitcher, Nathan Eovaldi, having his worst start of the season. You came back and you won it. Tuesday game, as you see, went either way. Y'all should have won that game, but you see you lost, and you lost today's game. You could have easily got your ass swept, easily. But then I go back and look at the positive. Y'all came back and won Monday, and y'all should have won Tuesday and today. You could have easily got you 3 games positive right now, but instead, you drop a couple. Now you sitting at 500, 40 games left to play in this MLB season, and your schedule's not getting tough. Your schedule's not getting any easier. You're going to be on You're basically, going to be on a 7-day road trip starting Friday in Toronto, and then you finish with a 4-game series with the Kansas City Royals. You better buckle your straps up. Bro. Real talk. Me personally, I'm getting committed to the football season. I've kind of felt this way before the All-Star break. Now, I'm not going to lie. After the All-Star break, the Rangers did catch fire, and it was like, okay, they got it to a point where they were basically tied for the last spot of the wild card until they lost that 3rd game against the New York Yankees. You know what I'm saying? But they did make their run, but now I'm just looking at it, they just ain't got enough. What bit them today and yesterday, film, what is it? Matan. Sound like they spraying out there. Hold on, kinfolk. They is spraying. Yeah, so if you in the GP area, they said stay your ass in the house because it's been reported of a West Nile sample. So that's why I got up and looked just to make sure they, it wasn't like no fucked off activity. But they said y'all stay your ass indoors. We spraying. We trying to, make sure this West Nile don't go farther. That's in the GP area. And I heard the fandom is in GP tomorrow as well, man. Damn. Missing out on a lot of activity, but that's fine. But like I said, for the Rangers, bro, it's just not going to get any easier. They done dug themselves in this hole. And it's really, we say they needed another bat, but you can clearly tell the main thing that they needed to get was a closer. We said that from the beginning of the year. The main concern was a closer. And as you see, bro, closing is the issue. Closing been their issue the last 2 games, and it cost them. And it's probably cost them their season. It's probably cost them season. Okay, let me look at it. So like I said, you're on a 7-game road trip starting Friday. Friday all the way to next Thursday. So basically, you ain't going to get no days off. Thursday will be your day off. You're going to play Friday all the way to the 27th. So you're going to you'll have an off day tomorrow. You're going to play from the 15th all the way to the 27th. Consecutive games. And that includes the 7-day road trip, 3 against Toronto, 4 against Kansas City. Then you come back down here for a 3-game series against the Cleveland Guardians. And then you got a 3-game series with the Angels. You do have the Angels and you do have the A's at the back end of August. So from the 25th through the 31st, you have the AL West bottom, which is the A's and Angels. So this week is going to be crucial. See, had you won this series or swept this series, that would have put you in way much better shape. But Toronto, I believe they're the AL. They're in the AL East. They're leading the AL East. So you got that, and then you got Kansas City for 4 games. This is all on the road. Got the Guardians, bro. I just don't know. And after that, you got a 3-game road trip to start September in Arizona. You host Houston down here my birthday weekend. So that Sunday, we might just have to go to the game. Luckily, the Cowboys do play Thursday, so I'm not conflicted, actually. But I already got a ticket to the Brewers game that Monday. So we're looking at back-to-back games, but I'll be off Monday. So I guess I can't let baseball go, but depending on how the season go. But then you got that. Then you, like I said, you got the Astros, you got the Bruins, then you got the Mets, then you got the Astros on the road. Nah, bro. I don't see it. I really don't see it, bro. I don't see it. Let me talk about some Dallas Mavericks real quick. You know what I'm saying? The NBA Cup schedule came out. Let me see. Of course, you know what primetime game that's going to be for the NBA Cup. Mavericks and Lakers will be in attendance. But Mike Curtis, for the Mavericks beat writer for the Dallas Morning News, he basically breaks down what's going on in the NBA Cup schedule that's going on. The Mavericks they are in the West Group B, along with the Lakers, Clippers, Grizzlies, and the New Orleans Pelicans. So Mavericks in Group B, in the West Group B, they got both LA teams. They got Memphis and they got New Orleans. It's been announced that Amazon will basically broadcast the Mavericks group play games on 4 consecutive Friday nights in November. So you're gonna have to, if you got Amazon Prime, check that out. Those Fridays in November Mavericks play, that's where it's gonna be on Amazon. The Mavericks will open up the NBA Cup at Memphis on November 7th. So that's on the road at a 7:00 game. It's a familiar matchup since the 2 teams met in the second game of the last season play-in tournament. We was eliminated by Memphis, of course. American Airlines Center will play host for the team's next 2 NBA Cups. The Clippers will visit Dallas the following week, November 14th. Game will be at 7:30. The game will be televised on Prime Video. That matchup will be followed by a meeting with the Pelicans the following week, November 21st at 7:30. And then the Mavs' final opponent of group play will be against former Maverick Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and the Los Angeles Lakers. That will be the group play finale, and it will be broadcasted on Prime Video, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, tip-off. The 21st. That's basically Thanksgiving week. That sets the tone. Prime Video will have exclusive rights to televise the NBA Cup's knockout rounds, including the quarterfinals December 9th and December 10th, semifinals December 13th, and championship game December 16th. This is by Mike A. Curtis, Dallas Mavericks beat writer for the Dallas Morning News. So we're back in, I think it's the same teams damn near. You're in Group West. You just don't have Golden State in this one, but you got the Clippers, you got the Lakers. Of course, you would put the Lakers in it. And of course, they will be the last game of the NBA Cup that you're going to play. And Thanksgiving week, basically, or before Thanksgiving week, you're going to get that Lakers Mavericks matchup. So that's something to look at towards there. I still really don't get the NBA Cup. I really don't. I just don't get how this game is going to matter more than this game when it's part of the, 82 game season. It's just confusing to me, but there it is. The NBA Cup has its schedule right there. Clippers picked up a lot of people, got better. What else you got? Memphis, New Orleans. But you're going to have to understand, you're going to have to do all this without a Kyrie. For all the people who, be against, especially that's been against the trade, do you think Anthony Davis will make it to November to play? Do you think he plays the month of November? Do you think he played the month of November? We'll see. I hope he can. I hope he hold up. I really hope he do. Just putting in some typing shit. Y'all tripping, cuz. Anyway, just trying to type up some stuff real quick. But let's talk about the Dallas Wings. Let's move to them. Bruh, they finally got them a dub. They went on the road and defeated the Indiana Fever in a game that bruh, they had to come all the way back from. I think they were down 17 or 18 points, bro. And I mean, they came back and it showed, because I remember the other night they were playing and they were up big early and they ended up getting walked down and ended up losing that game. But they come back against the Indiana Fever, bro, in a ferocious rally, man, in the second half, where this third quarter the first quarter they were really in control. And then the Fever ended up making their run and they basically put their stamp on the game. But then the Wings ended up, bro, they clamped down, and it was just a run they ended up having late in that game that ended up taking it over. Big props to Maddie Surgis, as she's been coming off an injury doing her thing. She basically gave you buckets. She gave you 22 points, 5 rebounds. Paige gave you 16, 5, and 8. She continues the deal. There was no Arike Ogunbowale, so that was no Caitlin Clark, no Agumba, Arike Agumbawale. So you kind of take the give out right there. But our girl Lee Yuru, man, hey, that Chinese girl can play. You know what I'm saying? I like what she brings to the table, as I think she got her first 20-point game right there. She 20 points, 4 rebounds. That's all Paige needed, was somebody else to come to the party. And Maddie and Lee came to the party. Let me see. Let me look at Maya Taylor, as she's the Dallas Wings beat writer for the Dallas Morning News. So let me check her out. Let me see if she has like any injury news or anything. A lot of people follow Grant. What's his name? Maya Taylor did say the Dallas Wings 81-80 win over the Indiana Fever on Tuesday night averaged 1.3 million viewers and peaked at 1.6 million, according to a source. It was the third most watched WNBA game of the season. So Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers makes numbers. Oh, I forgot. Maya Taylor is basically getting in the high. I see she's been designated on high school stuff, because I see a lot of high school stuff she talking about. And y'all know, man, some Fridays we should, if I'm not breaking down the Cowboys tape, or probably on Saturdays, we can do a college edition, high school edition as well. See what's up. She don't have anything. Not on that. She's been talking a lot more about the high schools, but I don't see anything on the injury reports. If anything about Arike, what's going on? Let me get to the Dallas Morning News. I think Arike, they trying to get her to cool down. No, I don't see anything that she added, but they will be in action Friday against the LA Sparks down here in Arlington. So it's a chance for them to try to get win number 10, man, and just try to do something to salvage their season. I know Coach Chris Kolunkis, that's his name. I know he's feeling the pressure because it just has not worked. Whatever they got going, it has just not worked, bro. And they got to make something, figure it out. They got to get something to shake, man, because it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good for the home team, man. Talking about Dallas Stars, you know, their season due open October 6th. So right when we get into the meat of the, getting into the football season, hockey will end up kicking off. I think they opened it up in Winnipeg. The Stars, boy, that ice hit. My bad, something else had caught my attention. But the Stars did get new forward Nathan, what's his name? Bastan? 5 things to know about him. He's a right wing forward. Shoots right in. He was selected 41st overall in the 2016 draft by the New Jersey Devils, while Dallas brought him in. His hometown is from Canada. Nathan is now the 13th forward on the Stars roster, effectively completing that unit and eliminating the need for competition in camp for the last forward spot. So Jim Neal, the Stars GM, brought Nathan in and former Stars forward Radek Madafaska this offseason as pieces in that room. A physical presence is basically what he's bringing. One aspect that newly hired head coach Glenn Glazon wants to see is increased physicality from the Stars, which we all said this is a must. and they believe Nathan can get him there. After the signing, Neal said in a statement, Nathan will add forward depth and a physical presence to our lineup, both of which will be valuable to our organization. To fight on his debut, Nathan made his presence known when he made his NHL debut after spending time with the New Jersey Devils AHL affiliate, the Birmingham Devils. He received the first NHL call early in 2019, but he had got into a fist fight in his major debut with defenseman Josh Mason. So that's something that, you know, a lot of people say iconic celebration. There's a big Italian connection to the state of New Jersey, like the Sopranos or Jersey Shores. I could care less about. But as you see, getting Radek Foska back, and then you bring in Nathan Bastan, if I'm saying that right, Bastan. You bringing him in. We said their exits the last 3 years in the Western Conference Finals. Either they've been out of gas or they just physically got beat up by teams. They didn't have the speed, but they just get physically worn out. These long series, they end up having a long series with a tough physical team, and it just takes them right out of it against a team that's just as good, just as physical, and it seemed like their win is still underneath their skates. Stars struggle every time they get to the Western Conference Final, but at least they get there. At least they get there. I'll give them that prop. So I give them that on the far front. But yeah, they signed Nathan Bastian to a 1-year deal. Try to, the word girth has made a lot of people sensitive around here. But it adds a little more physicality to the Dallas Stars. That's what you're looking to get from your forward position, because for the last few years, they have been a regular season fast skating team until they got deep into the postseason, and the speed slows down and they're not able to push. They're not able to push through other people's defensive line. So good addition. They don't have to worry about trying to look forward to trying to fill that roster spot and figure out who do they need to bring up, somebody from the Texas Stars, the AHL part or anything like that. So they end up making made a couple of moves just to add to it. And this is a team that, are they sacrificing speed to go ahead and get power now? Because they done tried speed for the last 3 years and it's not working. Is that something that they got going on, or do they just let it rock? Or is this just something, it's just the Stars problem? We're going to figure out, and you're going to have your hands full the first year. Glenn Gusson, he's going to have his hands filled, but I think he knows what the Stars are missing, and let's see what he's going to do about it. So, man, what time is it? About almost 10:30, man. It's about a time for me to go ahead and wrap it up. Like I said, I just wanted to get my rundown on DFW Sports. It's been a lot of Cowboy talk, a lot of baseball talk. It's just that type of seasons. But the way it's going for the Rangers now, I'll still ride with them through the end. But at the same time, man, we got to prepare for football season. So like I said, Thursday, we ain't going to be doing nothing. I was going to do something yesterday, but I had to I was making my vlog and the upload. If you know to upload a 4K video, if that boy is over 10 minutes, it's going to take 2 hours. And that basically took a long time. It was a rough day at work, so that's why we weren't able to get in. But Friday, we're looking to get in some action. The Wings will be in action Friday. The Rangers will be on Apple TV, but we're going to focus on the Ravens and they're all 22 and see what they are going to bring to the table when they come down here Saturday night, 6 o'clock against the Dallas Cowboys in preseason game number 2. So, man, that was all the stuff I had to get on my chest, man. I appreciate for some of y'all that tune in for the live. And if you didn't catch it and you catch this tomorrow, you're bored or something like that on the replay, man, hit that like button. Go ahead and drop a comment. Like I said, Friday we will be going live, and it will be a Cowboys film session. It's the Cowboys film session, but it will be over the Baltimore Ravens. We'll be looking live in there. So y'all know I'm going to bring flavor right there. And then Saturday we'll have post-game review, rewatch the game as well. Sunday, hopefully we'll have the all 22. So stay tuned with me. Tomorrow's a day off, but Friday we hit the ground running, mostly with a lot of Cowboy content to go through. So y'all know what it is, man. Check out my latest videos that I done got, man. If y'all still missing Luka, go check out a lot of my Maverick vlogs before the 2023, you know what I'm saying? Before the 2025 season, 2024-25 season. I got a lot of things in there for y'all. So Into the meantime, in between time, like I said, like, subscribe, hit that notification time. Follow me on X at Drewski Selfmade. You know the slogan, do everything with love because love always wins. That's the law. And with that, I'm out, y'all. Peace.
Self-made, independent, ho, I'm all about my businesses. I consistently continue to bring energy and on that keep it popping like I'm full of electricity. Try to hold me out, I wish you would have the audacity. Take a rap laxative, now I'm shitting on the industry. Self-made, not a title, cause it's my identity. And wear it on my skin like it's a part of my ethnicity. Mary keep on blowing like instruments in a symphony. That keep a player buzzing like Twitter when you mention me. Being 100's a everyday living tendency. And ain't faced by hating, it makes me increase my intensity.